Good morning, afternoon and evening all, this is Yorkie, I hope you're doing well. Today we have our very first episode of Sit and Chat. It's a video series that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. It's pretty much just a Q&A sort of style thing, but basically it involves you guys. You submit your questions or topics that you want to hear answered or basically my opinion on. But this all stemmed from a guy named called Grey Badger who emailed me a couple of days ago, and it was just really cool to sit and read and listen to hear what he said in the email, and I thought that this would be a perfect way of starting this video series. So I'm going to read out what he said to you in the email. He said, "Hi Yorkie, just stumbled on your channel and thought I'd say hello. I've always loved F1 games, and despite never managing to ever get any better at them, having played many over the years, with the original Jeff Crammond F1 GP on my Omega probably being the one I have fondest memories of. When I was playing that, you must have been, what, 2 years old? And yeah, it came out in, well, I looked this up, it came out in January 1992. I would have been 1 when it was first released, but my birthday's in mid-August, so yeah, 1/2. This time around it's Codemasters F1 2012, and in an effort to at least look like I'm putting some respectable times, I've had a look on the net for some expert advice, hence finding your channel. I'm concentrating on Melbourne first off, and I've watched your specialist advice video, and then I sat down and watched your Melbourne race with the Apex Racing League guys. I'm shocked to say I watched all the way to the end, so a hearty well done on the vids. I say shocked because I can never make it all the way to the end of a race on TV. I just tend to sit and nibble at the highlights instead if I watch them at all. So I wasn't really expecting to sit right through a long video like that, but in the end I ate it up. One thing I noticed, I watched you fight all the way to 3rd place, which was extremely well done after that nose cone disaster. But then I kept wondering what the second and first place drivers must be, since we never seem to see them anywhere ahead. Then suddenly you get asked to move away for the faster cars behind you, and I thought, well, that doesn't make any sense, as all the faster cars were suddenly surely in front. But then presumably first and second place guys went whizzing by, nibbling at each other like a pair of angry wasps. They lapped me, or lapped you. I think that your fastest time was a 1:29, and the winner's fastest ended up being a 1:27, so 2 seconds a lap, which I guess among the big boys is fairly substantial. But they wouldn't have been doing that pace all the way around, and there just doesn't seem to be enough laps for them to lap you, being right at the head of the pack as you were. Added to which, the way they were fighting at each other's position like that, I would have thought they would have slowed them down. Anyway, I thought you did really well and didn't deserve to be lapped. All the best, Badger." So yeah, thank you very much for emailing in. It was rather cool to actually sit and read that. And going to the very top, the Jeff Crammond F1 GP. That was, yeah, I would have been, like I said before, 2 years old. The very first F1 game that I remember playing was Grand Prix 2. That was on my dad's old PC, and I probably was about 6-7 years old back when I was playing that, and I was only really mucking about. I was only playing for fun. Obviously I was absolutely god awful at it, and I never really got into it seriously. And then I got a PlayStation 1 quite a bit after release. I think it was probably about 8, 9, so around the 98, 99 sort of time. And I got 2 games on release. It was Gran Turismo and also Spyro the Dragon. I played Gran Turismo a hell of a lot, and basically that's when I first seriously really got into gaming and racing games. And that's also actually back when I started to first use manual gears. It was back in that game. I was probably about 9, 10 years old when I was starting to learn manual gears, but I'd been like a car fanatic and F1 fan ever since I can remember. I've been watching F1 for as long as I can remember. My dad always used to watch it, so I probably used to sit and watch him on a Sunday evening, sit and watch the races back on ITV back when Martin Brundle and Murray Walker were doing their commentary. So I've been a huge fan of racing games and F1 and cars just in general from a very young age, I was kind of brought up around that whole sort of culture, and basically I picked it up really quick. And I obviously moved on to actual F1 games. I think it was F1. I bought 98 and 99. I think I missed out 2000. I got 2001, 2002, 3, 4. There was an F1 2006, which is probably the best F1 game that I played. I had a wheel from a PlayStation 2 back then, and I spent so many hours playing that game. That's so much fun, that one. And then obviously F1 2010, 2011 and 2012. And that's where we end up now. But yeah, going back to the email, thank you very much for watching the Melbourne track guide. It's probably absolutely god awful now compared to my other track guides, because I was stupidly nervous back then. Back that was when I very first started doing video recordings, and yeah, if you go watch it now, especially my Silverstone track guide, you could probably tell, you could probably hear the anxiety and how nervous I am doing those voiceover recordings. But obviously over time you become a hell of a lot more confident, and now it's just like it's very natural. I just sit and talk to you guys all day if I really wanted to, which is kind of the idea of this YouTube series. So yeah, we're on topic. But yeah, also thanks for watching that Melbourne video. It was probably I think it was the very first race that I recorded and uploaded. It was a good 45 odd minutes long. It was the first ever league race that I had done. It's not my first ever competitive play. I was in a clan back in Call of Duty 4, and there was a couple of scrims that I did with those guys. It wasn't anything major, it wasn't anything like league or tournament kind of level, but just just playing a couple of scrims against some other clans for a bit of fun. But yeah, that was the first ever like proper league race, and I enjoyed it an awful lot. It was quite frustrating. The qualifying pace isn't that great, or wasn't that great, and it still isn't now. I still tend to struggle compared to a lot of other Apex Racing League guys, and so that kind of hindered me straight from the start, because I qualified out, pretty sure outside the top 10, and yeah, there's a couple of first lap incidents which I think I got involved in, and I basically got stuck behind someone for probably about 5-6 laps, and then eventually I managed to pass him, and yeah, the conditions just completely changed. It went from dry, it went into like rain, and yeah, that was where I made up a lot of time, because obviously the cars being up in front of me and me catching them, I was able to gauge just how much I needed to slow down for every single corner, because obviously you see them disappearing off into the gravel. So I know that I needed to brake early, and basically just limped back round to the pits. I just managed to basically get the pit stops and crossover points between, say, the dry tyres and the intermediates, and then actually going back from the intermediates back to the dry, because it did dry up again towards the end of the race. I basically just got them spot on perfect, and obviously I was able to gain places that way. And also I just generally had some really good battles with a number of different drivers, and yeah, it was an awful lot of fun. Eventually I did manage to get myself into third place, but obviously, like you said in the email, the first and second were way off in the distance, and they did actually end up lapping me in the last 2 laps. And it was actually quite interesting, because like you said, the lap times was a 1:27 and mine was a 1:29, so as you said, it's a good 2 seconds quicker than mine. And a lot of people actually posted in the forums after that race, basically asking if they were cheating and corner cutting and things like that, because it looked like even in my video, it looked like they were corner cutting in a couple of places when they were going side by side through a number of different corners, because they were literally right on top of each other's gearboxes, constantly trading places. It was actually quite interesting to see, despite me being that and feeling pretty bad about it. But yeah, after that they did post up some videos of them doing some time trial hot laps with also their setups, basically just as proof that they're not cheating, and basically showing them how they attack the track and stuff like that. There was a little bit of corner cutting, which the admins did pick up on, and obviously warned the guys to stop corner cutting, because it is against the ARL rules. You are meant to keep 2 wheels inside the white lines at all times. So yeah, they obviously toned that back a bit, and after that it wasn't too bad, but obviously I had the connection problem, so I missed an awful lot of races, and there was a couple of races where I had some crashes. Actually didn't actually make it to the end of the first lap, and it was mainly because of the connection issues that I ended up dropping out of that season. I think it's season 5 of the Apex Racing League. I ended up dropping out after, I think it was after, it's either Spa or Singapore, one of those two. And yeah, obviously improved an awful lot over between those 2 seasons. I wanted to come back for season 6 and basically challenge for quite higher up, and came back for season 6. Obviously there's a hell of a lot more entries. Most of the guys that I was actually racing with in that split back in season 5 I wasn't even racing with in season 6, so that was quite an interesting turn of events. And yeah, it came to the first race and I had the same disconnect issues, so to basically just save hassle and time for the rest of the guys, I decided to leave the league and basically just carry on focusing on, I would have said the YouTube channel, but also the Apex Racing League would have been a big part of my channel. Would have liked to have uploaded all the races that I was doing, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But yeah, I think that just about covers everything. Thank you very much for posting that in Grey Badger. That was very cool of you. It was a great way to start the series, and obviously all the best to you in improving your times around Melbourne and also around the rest of your tracks. I hope you have a good time playing these F1 games. So for the next episode, please feel free to private message me through YouTube with a topic. Obviously sit and chat. Also in the comments below, basically just post your discussions and also like topics, questions, that sort of thing. Please try and keep it F1 related or gaming, or F1 and gaming sort of related. I wanted to keep all my kind of personal life sort of thing to Q&A and special videos, that sort of thing. So that'll be very much appreciated if you guys could do that for the next episode. But yeah, and I would have loved to basically hear what you guys want to think on the new series. Obviously post some topics. If you want to leave them in the comments below, you can do that way, and I'll probably if you guys upvote certain questions or topics, I'll try and probably pick those. I'd quite like to get quite a few into one episode, but obviously if there's a longer or quite a more in-depth detailed sort of topic, then I'll obviously dedicate an entire episode to that. But otherwise I'd like to get probably 2 or 3 per episode and basically just sit and chat to you guys, and hopefully you guys can have some feedback to give to me in the comments below as well. I'm basically just on the same topic, and we could get a nice big discussion going, sort of style thing. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a rating. If you have any comments or questions, and also if you wanted to post your topics, please post them below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more gaming content in the future. I hope to see you soon, guys. Take care.